Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin, don't forget to join my Discord server called Luca 10's Hangar. I plan on joining weekly, so if anybody wants to fly together, we can make that happen. My Discord server is linked down in the description below. Today I'll be flying out the CAC Wirraway. The CAC Wirraway was an iconic Australian aircraft that played a significant role in both pre-World War II and early World War II operations. The Wirraway was developed by the Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation, CAC, in Australia, making it one of the country's most important Indigenous aircraft designs. The project began in the late 1930s when the Royal Australian Air Force required a versatile multi-role aircraft to serve as both a trainer and a light bomber. At the time, Australia was seeking to bolster its defense capabilities and looked to the United Kingdom and the United States for technology and ideas. The Wirraway's design was based on the North American NA-16, which was a precursor to the famous T-6 Texan trainer. The first prototype of the Wirraway took to the skies on March 27, 1939. It was powered by a Pratt & Whitney S1H1G radial engine, which gave it a top speed of around 220 miles per hour, that's 350 kilometers an hour, and a range of about 720 miles, which is about 1,160 kilometers. The aircraft was equipped with two 7.7mm Vickers E machine guns. The Wirraway could carry a maximum payload of two 500-pound bombs or two 250-pound bombs under the wings. During the early stages of World War II, the Wirraway was used in the Pacific Theater, where it was involved in combat operations against Japanese forces. While it wasn't a frontline fighter, its role as a light attack and reconnaissance aircraft was crucial, especially in the defense of Australia's northern coastline. It participated in several key actions such as the defense of Darwin and attacks on Japanese ships. However, the Wirraway quickly proved to be under-armored and slow compared to the newer Japanese aircraft such as the Mitsubishi Zero. A number of Wirraways still exist today, mostly in museums or in the hands of private collectors and restorers. These surviving aircraft are often showcased in air shows where they can stand as a tribute to the men and women who flew them during the war. While the Wirraway was far from being the most powerful or sophisticated aircraft of World War II, it was an essential part of Australia's defense during the early years of the war. Its role as a trainer, its versatility, and its service in the Pacific helped secure its place in Australian aviation history. That's all for the history lesson. I hope you enjoy the combat. Right now I'm just trying to climb as high as I can so I can boom zoom some people. Thankfully I get an air spawn with the bombers. This aircraft really isn't very fast and it doesn't like to climb. I would say that this aircraft flies very similarly to a Dauntless. Thankfully I love the Dauntless and it's actually one of my favorite warbirds. Something that's not very good about this aircraft is that it has BB guns. The Wirraway doesn't literally have BB guns, but when you have two 7mm in the nose, it really feels like you do. Right now I'm about to demonstrate that on this Stuka right in front of me. I definitely don't want to go head on with this guy. I see that he starts climbing up to me. All I have to do here is just outclimb him. I'm already above him, and I know that he's just never going to get his nose around onto me. He pretty much stalls, so this is my time to dive. I put combat flaps down there just to tighten up my turn a little bit. I definitely need to be aware of this guy's back gunners. I'm able to hit him there. I'm just going to try to stay in the back gunner's blind spot, which is directly behind his vertical stabilizer. But unfortunately, as I'm trying to dive away, I move a little too far to the left, and he's able to give me an oil leak. I'm definitely not going to give up here. I know that I'm still in the blind spot of the Stuka, and thankfully I got what I want, which is severe damage. The Stuka starts to dive here, but unfortunately I'm not able to lead my shots far enough. I'm definitely not going to follow him down because I have a major oil leak and the oil is the blood of the airplane. If I have no oil, my engine's going to quit. So now I'm just going to try to make it back to the airfield. As I'm in the dive, I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. Now I'm up again and thankfully I was able to take out that Stuka. I see 4 enemies in front of me. I definitely need to make sure that I stay above them. As long as these enemies stay distracted and I stay above them, I'll be able to boom and zoom them. I'm really just trying to pick and choose who I'm going to fight here. And as I'm doing that, I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. I'm really wanting to take the Key 27 in front of me out of the game. He's going to be the least armored, but he's going to be the most maneuverable. He also outclimbs me, which is not good. I know that I'm never going to be able to outclimb this guy, so I'm just going to brake right here and side climb. I don't want to close this very small gap that I have with him right now. If I got any closer and he got any higher above me, he probably would have just turned around and killed me. As I'm climbing, I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. As I look below me, I see my ally on this DO-17. The DO-17 is not going to be a huge problem for me right now. I'm more worried about the Key 27 that's above me. The Key 27 starts to turn in towards me. I know I want no part in that, so I'm just going to brake right. Thankfully for me, he's not very aware of all of his surroundings and he starts to go for the lower enemy. It's either he doesn't see me, or he's just not making a very good decision here and diving away since he probably thinks that I'm not going to do anything. If you're going to give up the altitude advantage like that, you absolutely have to make sure that you know what aircraft you're going to be facing and what aircraft is going to be above you. If he really did see me, he probably just thought that I was some sort of bomber just heading for bases, but you can't always think like that. And of course, after all that dogfight anticipation, he just dives straight into the ground. My new target's this BF-109. I start my dive down to him, and as I'm doing that, I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. I just want to make sure that I can stay above this guy and not lose too much altitude, because the BF-109 will literally outperform me in any way. I know all I have to do here is just boom and zoom him. Once again, as I'm in the dive, I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. I still know that there's a couple people left. I start firing at him here. Hit him. I just have to watch my speed here. I know I definitely don't want to crash into the ground here, so I'm going to start to pull up. Notice how I'm managing my power settings. If I were to have full power in the entire time, then I probably wouldn't have been able to pull up. He's in a turn right now and losing all of his energy. I just came out of a dive and have a ton of energy. All I have to do here is just loop back around, and now I'm on a 6. I start firing at him here. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hit him there. But then as he crosses my nose here, I'm able to hit him. Now all I have to do here is just stay behind him. He reverses the turn here. I fire at him there and hit him. He's just going to keep turning here. I'm definitely not going to be overshooting. I hold the trigger down here and I'm able to get severe damage. I don't want to be tunnel vision for too long here. I know that there's still a couple people left in the game and I really want to kill this guy. If I kill this guy now, there's going to be a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders. Now we start to go vertical here and he's going to stall. I just have to make sure that I don't cross his nose. As we both stall, I'm just going to make him overshoot once again and I'm just going to stay behind him. As we stall, I'm also going to be looking around me, always being aware of all my surroundings. This guy's just going to keep up the turn here. He's pretty much helpless. He just keeps bringing the fight lower and lower. I know that he's going to eventually run out of energy or just crash into the ground, which he does right now. Now, in one of the worst times possible, I hear an aircraft behind me. This guy will literally outperform me in every way, but I'm going to use that to my advantage. I know he has a lot more speed and energy than I do. I'm just going to dump my flaps here, make him overshoot, and now I'm going to just stay behind him. Thankfully, I'm able to hit his wingtip there too. As I come back down here, I'm going to use full right rudder to perform a hammerhead maneuver. I raise my flaps. As he pulls back up, I see that I'm able to get my nose around on him, fire at him there, and I'm able to hit him. Now he has a fuel leak. I know in reality I would never win a turn fight with that guy, but I see that he just keeps going down, and eventually he'll just crash. Immediately after that kill, I'm going to look around me, always being aware of all my surroundings. Now I absolutely just need to climb here. I need all the altitude I can get. I can see an enemy firing at my ground targets in the distance. I'm going to head for him right now. This is the last enemy on their team, and we're heading straight towards each other. I know that this guy is an Italian strike aircraft, and I definitely do not want to fully commit the head-on. I start firing at him a lot farther out than I normally would, and now I'm just going to outmaneuver him. I know that he's just a big twin-engine aircraft that I can outmaneuver pretty easily. Since he's diving down towards me, I know he's going to have a lot more energy than I do. Once we start getting closer to each other, I know that he's just going to turn in towards me, and that's just going to make him lose most of his energy. I know all I have to do here is just loop back around and stay on his 6. He starts to go up, I fire at him here. I'm really just hoping that I get a pilot snipe. I keep holding the trigger down. Thankfully I get that pilot snipe, he goes to a land down under, and I win the game. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. If anybody has any suggestions on what aircraft I'm going to fly next, please leave them in the comment section down below, and I'd be happy to fly that aircraft.